Welcome back everyone to another counter guide. I'm sorry for the big gap in between uploads. I'll try and get these out consistently within like 3 or 4 days of each other at least. But anyways, after this first balance patch, as we all know by now, the Cyrax Cameo was nerfed hard. And many of you were wondering if I still use Cyrax after the nerf. And yes, I still use Cyrax. Why do I still use Cyrax? Cyrax gives me a bunch of options in the corner, and obviously the chip damage with Cyrax is still good for closing out rounds. But one character that seems to be struggling with this nerf is Baraka, which is why we'll just get him out of the way now. Not only was Baraka's main cameo nerfed, but the scaling on his damage was nerfed as well. So in today's counter guide, we'll be going over Baraka's main strings and in what situations he'll use them along with his specials. And then we'll finish with possible cameos they'll use now after the patch. As you see here, we also have an in-game example of a god ranked Baraka after the patch, so we'll show how I play against him as well. Here are the button references I'll be using to help you follow along with the video. But before we get into it though, if you find these counter guides helpful, be sure to leave a like and comment down below who you would want to see countered next. So without further ado, let's begin this counter guide. Starting with Baraka's strings, the first one we'll get into is his 2-1. This string is mixed with his single standing 2 to either keep you back or to hit confirm. Hit confirming is basically them throwing a string out, and if it connects, they input the rest of the string and combo off of it. And if it doesn't connect, they stop doing the string or disengage or whatever makes them safe. Here's an example I did in practice mode. Barakas will first do 2-1, and once they see it connects, they'll input the rest of the string or a special and into a full combo. For playing against this move, I would say to bait it out and punish, and if they're trying to keep you away, maybe walk them down into the corner to make it easier to find your gap to get in, or just use your projectiles after backing them down into the corner until they decide to come in, and then you can play that hit confirm game. Or you can keep the pressure on them in the corner, not allowing them to get out. And it's the same thing for Barakas when they have you in the corner. They'll most likely spam this move to hit confirm and get a now average corner combo. Johnny has many options to get out of the corner with his parry and command dash. So with other characters, for example, Ray goes down 4, which has good range, Asura's projectile and her down 3, Sub's ice clone, Scorpion stand 2, Kung Lao's down 4, and Rain's down 3. These are all good moves to counter someone keeping their distance and poking at you in the corner. And you could also take the risk and do a jump in attack, or mix it with empty jump ins to counter being up blocked. And an empty jump in is basically jumping at your opponent without doing an attack. These next 2 moves we'll go over are also used to hit confirm, and there are back 1 and back 3. Back 1 is a low and can be comboed into down forward 2 after a hit confirm. Back 3 is a mid-low 2-hit move. It is not an overhead, so block low and remember it is 2 hits. It is also punishable, so if you have a move that can reach them in time, you can get a successful punish. Baraka players can also finish back 3 with back 3-1 to make it safe, but if predicted, it can be ducked under and punished. Back to Baraka's back 1. After back 1, a lot of Barakas like to spam down 1 after thinking they're plus, so if they're doing this, simply press down 1 to counter it, or wait to see if they do it and punish their down 1. And the reason I say wait is because sometimes they'll wait for your down 1 and punish you and take another turn. So that's kind of the poking mind game after someone loses their turn. Barakas may also backdash into their armor move to steal a turn, which is one thing to be careful of after these moves, and that is EX back forward 3. This is Baraka's armor move that we'll get into later with specials, but this move is thrown out to escape a lot of pressure and it kind of bails them out. Next we have Baraka's forward 3, which I would say is mostly used on wake up mixed with back 1 and back 3. These moves are what they will most likely use on wake up to make you guess if they'll go overhead or low. The good thing though is that forward 3's overhead is 29 frames on startup, which gives you some time to stand block it before it connects. So here are your counter options. Blocking low and reacting to the overhead on wake up I would say is best. You could also delay your wake up to make them throw out the move early, and if they start expecting that, you could just get up and start pressing buttons to catch them off guard. And the risky but easier route out is to just armor on wake up. So those are your options for countering Baraka's mix-ups on wake up. Now for our last string, we have the simplest chip string in the game, 444. 444. This string is used for chip damage and is punishable, but to prevent it from being punished, Baraka players would do down forward 2 after it and either call Striker or Cyrax to make it safe. So to avoid all of this chip damage, you would need to know the flawless block gaps and hit just one of them to negate the chip damage coming afterwards. Here are those flawless block gaps. The shorter version of the string 444 isn't punishable, but if that last swing whiffs, it then becomes punishable. So if they do this full string by itself, it is punishable, and if the last hit of 444 whiffs. And flawless block one of the gaps in the chip damage sequence. Now we can move on to Baraka's specials. If you're finding this video helpful so far, leave a like down below to help this counter guide reach even more casual players. Starting with Baraka's main pressure special, down forward 2. Other than for chip damage, this move is used after a hit confirm and is punishable on block. This is one of a few special moves that Baraka Barakas will use with Striker to try to open you up. Striker is a pretty annoying cameo to go up against with any character, with his grenades coming so late and saving people from getting punished. So Baraka's down forward 2 can be used for chip damage with Cyrax or made safe with Striker, and it is used after hit confirms to extend their combos, meaning it is least likely to be thrown out on block with no cameo to protect them. Next, we have Baraka's down back 1, which along with down 2 can also be used as an anti-air. It's an overhead ender and is punishable on block, but can be made safe with Cyrax or Striker. This move isn't really used that much unless they're trying to get some end round chip damage that you can't flawless block, so just know that this move is punishable on block if not protected by any cameo and can be used as an anti-air. Now we have air down forward 2, which is mainly used in combos with Cyrax, but with Striker will most likely be used to make it safe on block. Barakas will delay this move in the air to avoid being anti-air and will cause Cyrax or Striker to either convert off of a hit or once again make it safe on block. But if they mess up the cameo call or don't call them at all or don't even have it, then it is punishable on block. Similar to everyone else but Johnny, Baraka has a projectile back forward 1 mainly used for zoning and keeping people away. This projectile can be ducked under, but if you don't duck, it does 2% chip and over time will probably hurt you. And if for some reason they do this move at close range, it is punishable whether ducked or blocked. One thing to be careful of that Baraka's mixed with back forward 1 at default range is back forward 3. If you are consistently ducking their projectiles to avoid chip damage, if they're close enough to you, they'll randomly mix in back forward 3 to catch you trying to duck an incoming projectile. If you can react to that mix or read it and successfully block it, then that'll reward you with a big punish with big damage. And lastly, to end specials, we have Baraka's armor move, which is the EX version of back forward 3. Similar to others' armor moves, Baraka's will use theirs to escape gaps and pressure. For example, Johnny's 2-1-2 has a gap after 2-1 to armor out of. Also, if I try to use plus frames like 1-1 into forward 3, they can armor out of it. Also, when they get unsuccessful hit confirms, they'll backdash and throw this move out to counter you trying to take your turn back. And like many others, they'll use this on wake up to escape incoming pressure. A couple things I do to try to bait out a get up attack is to throw one move out of a full string or to dash really fast towards them and try to make them nervous. And when they don't have meter, I'll do the same thing but then mix grabs in with it. A situational example for this back forward 3 move, if you have a life lead and you're keeping your distance, Barakas will probably throw this move out to close the distance and catch you off guard. The last thing we'll go over is the main cameos used with Barakas now after the balance patch, which is Cyrax and Striker. Although Cyrax's horizontal helicopter got nerfed, Barakas will still use them for back throw and regular mid screen and corner combos, even though the damage now only does max 40+%, and they'll usually save the chip damage sequence for late game. But the real problem now is with Striker. Striker cameo makes you question whether you should punish a punishable move. All of Baraka's punishable moves, down forward 2, back forward 3, down back 1, are all made safe and give Baraka a punish if you try to take your turn back. So the best punish option for Barakas using Striker, I would say, is down 2. It's a 14% to 3% trade, but if you can't afford to make that trade, then if you can flawless block those grenades, it would negate all chip damage immediately coming afterwards. But be careful of them delaying the pressure afterwards, as the chip damage will start again, so poke out of it beforehand. So to sum up Baraka's counter guide, here are all of Baraka's punishable moves. Back 3 and back 3-2, but I almost never see back 3-2 come out, so we'll just call this a DLC string. Back 3-1 after ducking the last hit, the full 4-4-4 string, down back 1, down forward 2 and air down forward 2, and lastly back forward 3, which is his armor move. For Baraka's hit confirm strings, back 1, 2-1 and stand 2, bait them out and move in to start your own pressure, or kind of keep them at a distance and try to whip punish. On wake up, watch out for forward 3 and back 3 mostly, or down 1 into down forward 2, which will get him into that Striker setup. And remember, forward 3 is 29 frames on startup, so block low on wake up and react to forward 3. And if you know your opponent likes to grab one wake up, take a risk and duck, and maybe you'll get a full combo punish. That'll do it for this counter guide. Like I said, I would try and keep videos coming within 3 or 4 days, so this one bit of week stuff is getting packed. And I've also seen a lot of comments on a Johnny guide. I have an idea. Instead of a Johnny guide, how about we start a series where I go in depth on how I play Johnny in my ranked matches, how I adapt, how I play in certain situations, etc. And along with that, in each vid, I show one of those corner setup combos with Cyrax, a couple optimos and stuff like that. And in turn, these can kind of show you guys different ways to play Johnny and help you improve with them. Or I could just drop a Johnny guide. So I guess leave a like for a Johnny guide soon. We are almost at 10,000 subs. Like, I dropped this meme on my second King of the Hill video when I was at 2,000 subs. Like, I see you guys love the King of the Hill videos and I appreciate you guys for the support. Omni-Man is also 1 week away, so when he comes out, I'm gonna train with him in practice. And how does a King of the Hill Omni-Man edition sound?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
That'll probably get the Johnny haters off my back as well. But anyways, that is it for the video. We got Omni-Man next week, Tremor in about 2.5 weeks, and another counter guide coming soon on that projectile spamming, command grabbing, tussie sliding.